Hello and welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. It's the 1st of September and we are back. Continuing with Claire's fabulous tour of EPCOT, this month's podcast we're talking about future countries, where we would add them and what they would be to World Showcase. What might they look like? How would we design them? Let's find out. Grab a cuppa and a snack and enjoy the show.
Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I
go. I'm sure you've been missing our dulcet tones as we've had a little break from our live shows over the summer, but you'll be very pleased to know that we are back this week with a show all about our trips. So make sure you join us on Wednesday to hear about what we got up to, the highs and the lows, and the mischief caused. I can say that because I wasn't there. But tonight we're talking about EPCOT and World Showcase, and we're all here tonight. Well, I say we're all here. We are missing Simon, who's sadly not feeling great. But everyone else is here. So how's everyone doing?
Good.
Glad to be back.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's September.
Let's put the holiday to one side for another year. Like, you know, it's just like it's that horrible feeling. Yeah,
2 months.
That September bit. You know, I used to hate September. You know, when I was a teacher, I hated September with a vengeance. And I'm pretty sure any teachers listening to this, of which I know there are many, when you get to September, it gets to like the last weekend of August, and suddenly you've just got that realization that here we go again.
Yeah. And September's always feels like the longest term of the year.
Yeah. I'm not going to mention I wasn't going to mention that word. You see. Yeah, we'd be getting a reputation like Disney. You know, if they can do Halloween in August, we can do Christmas in September. That's it.
I think so. To me, September is the beginning of the Burr months. So that's September, October, etc. Which means we are counting down to Christmas, if you ask me. Yeah, it's not far away when you think about it. September.
I want to remember my holiday. I'm still in holiday mood.
I think Claire's got a trip booked in December, so she'll be looking forward.
You know what? I've got so much going on between now and December. I've got Anna's wedding. I've got a hen weekend. I've got so many things. I can't wait. And then trip at the beginning of December. So.
It's all go in September though, isn't it? Like when you're saying, John, about schools going back, the uni starts. It feels like September, a bit like January. I feel it's a bit like a relaxed version of January. There's always so much pressure at January. Oh, you have to start the diet, you have to start this, you have to do your New Year's resolutions, all that. Whereas I feel like September is also a reset month.
Yeah,
it's because it's the start of the school year.
It's not as dark.
It's not as depressing. I feel like January is such a depressing month to do all of that stuff.
Say Happy New Year in September then.
That would feel better to me.
School year.
We got all the teachers be getting their phone and just throwing it halfway across the car on the way to work.
Yeah.
Shut up. It is one of them proverbial Jungle Cruise moments. I am in denial.
But speaking of fresh plans and fresh ideas, it leads us nicely onto today's subject. We're talking about fresh ideas for EPCOT's World Showcase. What countries would we add? What might we put in those countries? Would they have any Disney IP? Would they be just standalone countries? We've all chosen our countries, some of which I know, some of whom I don't know. So I'm very excited for today's show.
I'm just interested to work out who's going to put them, where they're going to go.
Where they're going to go.
Yeah, because it's a difficult choice, isn't it?
It is, but also, let's put this out there now, right? At some point, if these countries come back into World Showcase or are put into World Showcase, at some point, someone's going to turn around and say, I want the Stargate and the tacos to appear in the middle of the lake for the fireworks. That is strictly off limits. It's not allowed. and having heard that Disney are bringing the hat back to Hollywood studios, as much as people think that's a retrograde step, I actually think that's a really nice step. However, those tacos are never coming back. I'm saying that.
How about we have the globe back for Illuminations?
You can keep that.
So you can see them back from holiday and as grumpy as ever. That's it.
So who wants to start us off? Who wants to tell me what country have you chosen and what are you going to do there? Do you want to start, Ben?
Go on then. So I didn't have much time to really think about this, but I chose the country straight away and thought I will make the rest of it up as I go along. So this might not be, it's just a few ideas in my head, but I decided to go for Monaco.
Right.
So,
Isn't that a principality rather than a country?
It's a massive expanse of an area, that, Ben, as well. Like,
If you were technical about this,
if you were the guy who was doing the Google map of it, right, and you think of the whole expanse of the Earth, it's like the most minutiae of areas. And like Claire said, technically it's a principality, but we'll let you off I know where you're going.
It will fit between France and Italy. I mean,
the whole of Monaco. You could have a life-size replica. It could be life-size, and it would still fit in that gap.
I mean, to be fair to you, it does appear on lists of countries.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And they've got their own flag, so they're all right.
Yeah, there we go. But my thought of it was because I love Formula One, I love Disney. There are two things that I would like to bring together, and I know Claire is rolling her eyes. If anyone who's not watching on YouTube,
I'm trying to be good.
But I just like the idea because Test Track has had its refurb. There are a few things that I thought that have been removed from it that I used to like the customize your own experience through your own car. So the whole idea of this is that you can be in that story. You can race different cars. You can have the ride system is going to be based on something either like soaring or Flight of Passage. So you can feel like there's going to be screens, there's going to be movement as you're driving around the track. You're going to have, you're going to be the driver. So you're going to be a young racing driver with the guidance from Cars franchise, Doc Hudson. Not sure how well that works with Monaco theming, but you're going to be around the Monaco racetrack, which is by water. There's so much stuff that I think you could do with it. But I like the idea that you can, as we've seen with other sort of pavilions, you're putting yourself in that moment, and it's a bit like Ratatouille. When you look from the front of France, you go back, you don't realise actually what sort of experience you're going to get when you go into that attraction. And that's what I want the Formula One, sort of the Monaco racing experience to be. And yes, I'd like to have, in Mexico, where you have the area where there's a bit of history involved. So I would like a sort of just an area with different drivers, so sort of historical sort of the side of it, because motorsport has been going for decades. It'll be something that covers both being sort of educational, informational, not just a great experience.
Will you have to take out a mortgage just to enter the area like you would in Monaco?
Well, it'll be including a Disney ticket. It'll be fine. I'm not giving Disney an idea to upcharge to do this experience.
Did we put a big yacht in the lagoon?
That's brilliant.
See, that would be
just
the restaurant.
The one?
That would be the restaurant.
Mine, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Eat in the back of the yacht, but they only serve champagne and caviar because that's what the rich people
It's Monaco.
eat.
So, it would be sort of table service dining would be in the yachts. It'd have to be quite a big yacht. But I have a feeling it would be signature dining in Monaco. It's not something that...
Or even just private dining. You could book it out and that's it. Like you can book the yachts like the Grand One and all of that stuff.
And maybe it would give you great fireworks.
Maybe you could just book the Monaco yacht for fireworks and dinner. And that's the only, so it would be booked out every night, let's face it.
Yeah.
But it has to be private dining.
So it's a better version than was it GO82?
Yeah.
So we spent more than $200 for the private thing. Of course.
The key bit is though, Ben, you know when you put a yacht in somewhere, right? and if you've got young kids, right, hand up. I actually managed to get our Joe doing this when he was much younger than he is now, and he was in a buggy, and we were in somewhere just as I think it was south in Port-au-Prince area, and there was umpteen massive yachts, and he turns around to me and said, "Oh, Daddy, yacht." I said, "No, if you want people to turn around and stare at you, and you go, look, Daddy's yacht," and point. And it was just that whole thing, and it's a standing joke now. It's like, Daddy's yacht, and point. It doesn't matter to what, but they're of an age.
The dinghy,
But other people turn around and go, "Oh, they've got a yacht." It's just like keep walking quickly before they spot that you're scurrying into you see it Ibiza. But yeah, it was always a crowd stopper that. So you can have that one for free if they put the big yacht in the middle of Epcot. Teach your kids from a young age. It gets
But
you
that's
well
actually
known.
on the edge of Epcot. It won't spoil the view too much.
Yeah.
It won't be like John, you said about the Stargate and the tacos. It won't be in the middle and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, good call that.
I've thought of an idea that they'll have something similar to they'll have a quick service, and a lot of the food options will be similar to what you find at Riviera Resort, because I know there's a lot of people that don't actually visit resorts, so it would be a nice idea that actually some of the food options that they rotate there you could have in the park, because at the
like
moment
Mediterranean
yeah
type. Nice. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I could see that working. I mean, Test Track is due for already, I think, a proper overhaul rather than just a slight retheme.
What did they have? 1 year to do it?
Mm. It is within a year they've reopened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not much was going to change in that time. Let's be honest.
No.
But I think they could just knock it down and rebuild it with a better track. But that's a good idea, Ben. I like your idea.
Yeah.
I like your idea. I think it would work.
It's a good reason to say that you've gone around the world, and going to Monaco is on my bucket list. So I could just go to Epcot and tick that off.
Right.
Easy. It's practically the same thing.
I've driven around the Monaco Grand Prix. Hopefully I've won. And there'd be a competition element too.
Yeah. I tell you what, people go back and I know Josh does the junior version of the show, but if anyone goes back and has a look at some of his socials, he's currently still interrailing around Europe. And one of his days, he was going to Monaco, but what he was planning on doing was getting one of those, the scooters that you can hire, which some major cities in the UK once had, and then decided it wasn't particularly safe. However, Monaco still has those same scooters, and he's actually going to go around the whole of the Grand Prix circuit and hopefully try and film it and put it on YouTube and stuff like that. So
I love that.
I hope he's going to the Enzo Ferrari Museum in Modena in Italy. That's very cool. I've been there.
Yeah. Right. I'll double check.
Add it to the list if he's still got time.
Well, he's due in Italy at the end of September.
Amazing.
It's an amazing place.
Yeah. We're actually due to be joining him for a few days in Verona.
Nice.
It's like half an hour from Verona. You have to go.
Excellent. There we go. That's me.
There you go. John's going too.
I'm adding something else to my
We'll
list.
talk after the recording, John. I've got loads.
Absolutely.
I have nice restaurant and hotel recommendations for Verona as well. Just to live.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice. So, Becca, tell us your country.
So I chose Greece. Going to put it in that little bit where the African outpost currently is. And that's a bit of a dead space, and to use a little bit more being a bit more lively. So it's going to look like a agora, Greek marketplace when you first go in there. So on the left-hand side with the quick service, there'll be the little restaurant there'll be some outside seating as well. Thin black, nice little Greek cafe, and it's going to be a bit like Satuli in terms of the menu, as to kind of choose your own kind of pittas and rice bowls and salad bowls. So you choose your protein, your salads, your sauce, that sort of thing. On the right-hand side will be where the ride is. That's kind of going to be, it's going to be a log flume.
Amazing.
A bit like Tiana's, but a bit more indoor probably. And it'll have the Hercules IP because we're in Greece.
Amazing.
And you can't not.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
So what you're going to do is Hercules has, I've even got a storyline and everything. Hercules has been depowered and kidnapped by Hades. And you're going to journey with Megara and Phil through the underworld to go and rescue him. So your first the big drop will be at the beginning as you go down the river Styx into the underworld. There'll be a few scenes with a few more little drops. And then at the end, once you've rescued him for the escape, there'll be a backwards launch out of the underworld. I know this technology probably doesn't exist. Think Guardians of the Galaxy backwards launch.
I'm just worried you're going to end up
to the exit
in the World Showcase lagoon.
Well, maybe it could turn into a coaster and then do the backward launch as part of the coaster. Because they exist.
They do.
They've got that in SeaWorld, I think, isn't it? The journey to Atlantis, where it's part water and it ends in a hurricane.
Yeah.
And then coming out of there, once you've gone on the ride, coming out of there, it'll split into two. There'll be the meet and greet area. On one side, there'll be a Hades temple where you can meet Hades and Pain and Panic. And on the other side, there'll be a Zeus temple where you can meet Hercules and Megara. And then when you go back outside, right at the end of the pavilion, it'll be the big temple, which will be half kind of museum thing to begin with all some historical, what's the word I'm searching for? Artifacts, thank you. And kind of information about who these gods and goddesses really were, or their ideas about who they were and where they came from. And the second half, that'll lead into the table service restaurant, again themed as the inside of the temple with the images of all the gods and goddesses around it.
That sounds like a good trip to Greece.
It does.
It sounds amazing. I feel very underprepared, but I'm not so thought out.
I'm glad you said that, Robin.
Amazing.
Exactly the same.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you to bring out the schematics of this is where this is going to go and this is how tall this is going to be.
I love it.
It's actually the way that Becca, the way you've described that, right? I've actually got the concept art more in my mind of that than I have the Cars Land going into Magic Kingdom based on the pictures that Disney have provided. I could actually visualize that entire land now.
Yeah.
More so than anything else. That was cool. Oh,
yeah. When you said you were doing Greece, I thought you were going for the Santorini, white buildings, blue roofs, all of that classic Greece. But you haven't. You've gone ancient Greece, which I love.
I've gone ancient Greece because
and
that's where my passion is.
Yeah,
Hercules theming ride as well.
Absolutely, he is not represented, and that movie is not represented.
Yeah. Could we maybe not have a little balcony just a little bit where there's a little nod to Shirley Valentine? Just overlooking just for my fellow compatriots from Liverpool who are visiting Walt Disney World, and they could have their picture taken.
Ode to Julie Walters.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can fit it in.
I love the attention to detail. I feel like you've set the bar now, Becca. Frantically goes to think about more
details.
I'm glad I was first.
Yeah, I was thinking I should have gone first, Ben. You should see where man's nowhere near of that ilk, I must admit.
Well, you can go next, John, if you like.
Thanks, Robin. Yeah, I walked into that one, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah. So I'm actually going for a country that actually I feel is really underrepresented within every single one of the parks, purely from the fact that there is, from the latest statistics, there are 700,000 people from this country who visit Walt Disney World each year. Right? That country is Brazil. Now, I am not going to be crass in any way, shape, or form as to how I ended up getting Brazil as a country. However, it has to be said, I'm pretty sure that there's more than 700,000 people who visit Walt Disney World who have a Brazilian. So that's my only down cry on the whole thing. That's the last we'll mention of it, and I won't bring that up again.
That's not what you said before.
No,
but
I've always got into trouble. I've always got into trouble for
I'm
it. For
really
saying it
hoping
before.
there's a beauty salon in this pavilion. If there isn't, I'll be disappointed.
There has to be though, Claire, doesn't it? That was on my list. Strangely enough, as an added bonus into the whole land, I just think it would be impolite not to offer that particular service, and I think I think it would be quite a popular place. But I'll move on. I'll move on quickly. People won't notice. Ben, I'm going to have a little bit within this. I actually feel that I think for Brazil, it needs to be right next to Mexico, and that there's quite a big space between Mexico and Norway, right? And given the rivalry that Mexico and Brazil generally have, because they don't particularly like each other, it's that South American hatred of other people, and it would be a perfect place to actually fit it in. However, I would like to see a little bit of a sporting theme to begin with, not only with the fact that you'd have to have something about Ayrton Senna within the pavilion, just as a nod to the greatest F1 driver who had his life taken away from him. But you'd also have to have something, and I don't know whether this maybe just a little film about the history of the Brazilian national football side. If you're listening in America, that's the soccer side. They've not quite got into American football yet. But simply because they are the most successful national football team in the history of the world. So I think that has to be within that land. The rest of it, I actually feel it has to go back to that educational and edutainment element of it. And I think this is where sort of living with the land comes into this. And that we keep dragging bits of different rides and stuff, but the whole ecological build-up of Brazil, it just leads itself to something that is rainforest-led. And yes, it is an EPCOT, not Animal Kingdom, but it still would have that whole bit about the preservation of the forests and actually just the ecosystem that evolves and the animals. It'd be perfect just for a little bit of Avatar just sneaking itself into EPCOT and just having that crossover between two parks. But definitely a ride through the rainforest in a kind of flight of passage kind of way with a very similar meaning. I think you could go really sort of off on one and try and do something completely different. But actually, if you're going to do Brazil, go back to what it is most famous for, and that is being part of the rainforest, with such a massive part of the rainforest within it.
Do you know, just going for what you said, I was just thinking, what about a ride that's a little bit like Avatar, Flight of Passage, where you follow a particular animal that's endangered in the rainforest?
Yeah.
And you're that animal, and it's all the things that you see and all the dangers and all the wonder and all the beauty.
But
that would be amazing.
And all the different levels within the whole canopy of the rainforest as well. I just think it would.
Yeah.
It is very educational. I hasten to add, but
makes me think of the old universe of energy a little bit.
Only better. And I'm not going down the Ellen bit, because actually, you know how to press my buttons, Claire. That's it. You know that I'd end up having a rant about Ellen if we did that.
Sad times.
But yeah, it would have to be that sort of mantra about that. However, the food side and the drink side of it, we've got something that's very distinctly sort of down the EPCOT road as well. Because I do research stuff like this. So the national drink of Brazil is actually coffee. So there you go. That's your little coffee place sorted out. However, most of the other drinks you can offer are very much down the cocktail route. And apart from the fact I can't pronounce them, so was it Caprina?
And then there's
Yeah, whatever it is. And there was a cachica, which has got lime, sugar, and ice based around the alcohol as well. I actually feel that
delicious.
but we've got the realms of something different that isn't going to be a pavilion that's just serving like a national beer and then do the stuff on top. It'd actually be one of those places that would be very cocktail led, and again purely because a lot of the drink and food involves a lot of use of the fruit that is native to Brazil. And speaking of food, I wouldn't go down the obvious of a steakhouse because I think there's other places off site that do the Brazilian steakhouse. I
wouldn't.
No, I would go down the.
I thought that's where you were going.
No, I actually think. Yeah, but that's dead obvious, though, isn't it? So I would.
Next,
go
you'll be
down.
telling me I can't have cheese bread.
Well, there's loads of like different meat-based stew that is actually proper Brazilian food, and use of black beans and veg, lots of the fruit. So they use mangoes and they use papaya, passion fruit, and that just all builds into the cooking process. And I just think, no, let's go for something different taste, a different option, and then obviously, when that doesn't sell to the majority of people who visit the parks, you then take it out, put a steakhouse in because it's dead cheap, and then you can just replicate what Disney do
because
in
it's a
other
steakhouse,
places.
you can just charge higher prices.
You do the same as a Hana, don't you? And you have all the different.
Them coming around with the meat on the sticks.
Oh yeah,
like they used to do at Ohana.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of that, I must admit.
Oh, we quite liked.
And that was before they nicked all me the inside of my mouth out. So I've got no chance of something like that anymore. Like but just a fascinating country, and just one that yes, a lot of people, including myself, has an issue with the amount of tour groups that come from this particular country. Yes, they are a little bit loud. However, we have got good friends of the show who probably would be quite offended if I was talking about their home country in a way. And actually, they are one of the...
It's just different culture, isn't it, John? It's just a different culture completely.
Totally, but it's one which Disney have actually invested quite a lot of money in trying to attract more and more Brazilian people to come to Walt Disney World. It's not too far away. They've actually got, there's 2 flights that basically run daily into Orlando Airport, where that there's people coming week after week after week. And I actually feel that it's one of them developing markets. And admittedly, in this day and age where the American president has kind of upset the Canadians to a massive extent, the Canadians were a huge market which currently are not feeling wanted. And so you actually feel as if there's a little bit of a shift here. And actually Disney have already done a little bit of work as towards attracting themselves to Brazilian people. And then from the wider domain, they're looking at those people certainly from this country. And we fall for it. I hasten to add. And we are on repeated journey. So yeah, that's where I was going on. Nowhere near as in detail as Becca's version, but hey,
no, I think that was fairly detailed.
And I didn't get one smutty joke in there either. So there you go. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. And actually,
we're disappointed, John.
I know.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm being the bigger person through all this because I know in past podcasts and Wednesday shows, anyone mentions the word Brazilian and it always ends up with a bit of sniggering and a bit of laughing. And I'm just maybe it's the new me. Yeah, I've had my holiday in Florida and I've come back home.
You've relaxed. You've come back home, and
maybe that's what it is. Yeah. I'm going to put myself on. I'm going to put myself on mute while I just snigger away at myself during the next part of the whole show.
Well, I think before we move on, I think I'm not sure. I think I can allow you to choose Brazil.
Oh,
because wasn't Brazil already going? going ahead?
It was meant to be, and then
Wasn't
they
it
pulled
one
There
of
was
those
a
in 2019?
sign.
Wasn't there like a sign that they had?
There was a sign with Brazil and a little arrow over in the African outpost.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic happened and the sign disappeared.
Yeah.
So I feel like, is that an
Magically.
original idea?
I
It was
think
discussed
I
at
think
D23, wasn't it?
Yeah, it belonged in the
sure.
same sort of vein as the Mary Poppins
Mary
attraction.
Poppins.
So
They've gone down the
Yeah.
abyss.
what I'm
It's that
interested
bit
is
of
on the day we're recording this, D23 hasn't happened for this year. So who knows what country
Maybe.
it's actually going to be announced.
Hey,
in.
look at that!
Jonas
Oh,
watched
God,
that.
Where's it again?
oh, hey, look at that! It could be there. Yeah, go on.
Brazil may have already bought
Go
one
on,
for
Bob.
steakhouse.
Go on, Bob.
I'm just kidding anyway, John.
No,
Of
but
course you're
no,
allowed
it's a good call, though. It's a good call because actually, on the original incarnation of some of, going back, not even going back to 2019, going back way in time, there was always that thought that Brazil was the most obvious. Hence the reason I chose it. It is the most obvious, best fit based upon the people who are visiting the parks. And I really feel that
The
as much
absence
as-
of South America is significant.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say. It is,
Yeah.
and especially I think everything can't be all in English, and it certainly can't all be just for Americans, Canadians, and British people. It needs to be that global sort of many faces kind of approach where it is inclusive of a lot more countries and cultures.
Yeah, I agree. So Claire, what about you?
So
What's your country?
I have to put my glasses on at this point because I have it written on paper in front of me.
Oh,
And
Hey, look at that! Look at look!
that one's detailed.
Hey, look!
news
See, there you go.
reader,
All those
news
years of
reader
work,
moment.
all those years of working together, and she succumbed to doing it is John's way.
'Cause I'm getting
Write
old.
that on paper.
So none of you know which country I've chosen.
No,
this is a surprise to
you
all of
kept
you.
that away from all of us. So
I
yeah,
have.
go on.
And
Drum roll.
that's because until about 2 hours ago, I hadn't decided. But in discussion in our house today, actually, it was Riley who came up with the perfect solution. And this is going to go in that bit between the UK and Canada, because there isn't anything from the Asian countries over that side of EPCOT. And I am going to add Korea, specifically South
Oh.
Korea. So,
The good career, not the bad career.
right, I just want to specify we're not all having our hair cut.
That could have been an interesting one.
The area without any internet. No.
Yeah.
You lose the Wi-Fi as you walk through.
So we I don't know how many people realize there's a massive Korean culture that is global nowadays. So in terms of an attraction, I have two offerings. The first is actually a show. Did you know that a number of Korean, so K-pop bands actually have done loads of Disney crossovers? So my suggestion is, in terms of an attraction, is we have a we have a show which is utilizing the same type of technology as the ABBA Voyage evening. So using avatar hologram type activity to create a K-pop Disney show. So a band playing Disney hits, which there's quite a few famous K-pop groups that have done those types of crossovers. So there's a show of K-pop, which is a Disney crossover. The other thing that we can add is like a building which has got different elements of Korean culture, which include like a karaoke area, because actually karaoke is a massive thing in Korean culture. And then there's a thing called light sticks. Did you know about Korean light sticks? These things that basically it's they get their own these sticks which light up for concerts, and they use them and they wave them, and it's a massive thing. You could build your own light sticks like Sabi's workshop, but in Korean. And then
I
also,
got to see Coldplay.
Would it be like Pick a Pearl?
kind of. And then also an area of arcade games, because things like Dance Dance Revolution and some of those really big Korean Street Fighter, those are all Korean arcade games. So you could have an arcade area as well. Right? See, there's a huge thing. So people could decorate their own light sticks. Photo booths and photo props are massive in Korean culture. So you can have a photo area where people dress up in the hanbok, which is have a cutout where you stand behind it and have you in the hanbok, the traditional Korean dress. Do the karaoke booth and exhaust yourself and humiliate yourself on Dance Dance Revolution in the corner.
Shall I pass the phone on to you? Bob's on the phone.
I am not finished.
There's dollar signs. There's dollar signs in his eyes there. All that merch
right?
Opportunity.
I am not finished yet.
Oh,
wow.
There will be a shop which in it sells K-pop albums, Korean beauty products, which are a global phenomenon at the moment in terms of makeup and cosmetics and all the moisturizers and the stuff. That's a huge thing. Light stick, you can buy light sticks, you can buy Korean chopsticks, all of those things that are massive, but people don't always realize they're Korean rather than other Asian countries. And then in terms of food, we have two different offerings. There is the Korean barbecue, which is a table service restaurant where they have the hot plate in the middle of the table. So people sit around the outside, you pick your protein, you pick your food. So they have seafood, they have mushrooms and various things, and then the rice cakes, and you cook it in the middle of the table and eat it, so you choose what you want, cook it yourself, eat it. So it cuts down on server time and cost effective. And then also there is the Pyongyang, which I don't know if anyone's heard of, which I'm told that's how you say it. That's what Riley wrote down for me, which is an area where you go and you pick your noodles and you pick your broth, and then you have microwaves. These restaurants have microwaves all around the wall. You literally create it all, microwave it, and sit at a bar and eat it. So it's a quick service that you choose what you want, do it yourself, and eat it at the quick service. So yeah, a Korea.
I feel like can I add to that?
Yes.
Because if I can't get Korean fried chicken, I feel like my heart will be sad forever.
Right.
I feel like can we add like a even if it's just a hole in the wall where they only sell Korean fried chicken.
I'm in. I'm in for that.
Yeah.
Let's add whatever you want. But I think the architecture of Korea, when you look at the Sansa Temple, you could have that as the background of the a bit like in Japan, you've got the temple at the front, you can put the Sansa Temple at the back. It's lots of red and gold. It's really beautiful, lots of engraving. So you can have all the history bit, and then you have all the funky Korean culture at the front, and it's very, very current. So they'd have to get building quick, because by the time they built it might not be current, based on distant timescales. But in terms of merchandise and culture and technology, I think, there's so many opportunities in terms of K-pop.
I think that would fit really well between UK and Canada.
There's that great big space there. You could put a temple in the back, merchandise, restaurants.
I think it would fit good in EPCOT as well. I think if you think how popular Japan is, I think it would rival Japan as the most popular sort of pavilion.
I think
really
it would
like that idea.
Awesome, and it's not somewhere that I thought of a few of other places, and then Riley was just like Korea, and I was like, tell me about it, And there's so many special things that people think are Chinese, Japanese, whatever, and actually they're all Korean. And I think it'd be great to have there.
I think you're on something. I think you're on something.
I definitely think
and again, going back to what you were saying there, Robin, as well. It doesn't cut across the cultures of Japan and China. It adds to it.
Absolutely. And it would space the Asian countries across the World Showcase.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, really enjoy that idea.
I take zero credit for that. That is all Riley.
So really what you're trying to say was you've been at work all day and then you set Riley off on a bit of a...
And it's her birthday today. So I was literally cooking dinner for everyone. I was like, help me out here. And she sat and wrote 2 sides of A4 paper in the space of 15 minutes. Like, this is what you need. Blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So yeah.
Thanks, Riley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great idea. Lovely.
Can you imagine getting yourself a Korean barbecue, some Korean chicken, and go to a karaoke booth, a bit of Dance Revolution to burn off the chicken, and then laughing at everyone.
As long as the karaoke booths are soundproof.
They are, that's how they work. They're like
no
little pods.
Wailing.
The way they work is they're like little pods. You can have bar service to them. Be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Put your names down at the beginning of the day.
You're having to almost like you would with a table service restaurant, but slot.
Yeah, that's exactly how they work. There's loads of bars in the UK that do that. Places like Bean Battle Bar and stuff, they have pods. And the only place you can do karaoke in Walt Disney World is at the restaurant in the Swan Hotel. So there is a gap in the market there. So my name's down on the list, and Zach Brown, we're doing it.
Well, I love that idea. Thanks, Riley, very much. She saved you and came up with a great idea.
I was going for Spain, so
I kind of want to hear what you would have done for Spain as well. I'm not going to lie.
bullfighting's kind of outlawed in America. It's called rodeo there.
Well, I feel sad because Simon had country and ideas planned, but he, as I say, wasn't very well. But I know a little bit about what he'd chosen, so I'll tell you about his as well.
Did it involve rum? That's my question. I think involved rum.
I feel like it will have included a tiki bar because he was choosing the South Pacific, which technically is not one country.
No,
it's kind of like
a group of.
But he was going with the South Pacific. I don't know what area he had thought of for it to go, but it would almost go over near Moana, the Moana water walkthrough. And even the seas, you could just have all the fish being tropical, the fish you find in South Pacific. But that's just my idea.
At least you're already guaranteed of a whole soundtrack that you could actually put in the background as well, since the film's already been made, couldn't you? Yeah.
Exactly.
Lazy soundtrack there.
But yeah, his idea was another log flume ride, going through the South Pacific as if you were on a canoe. Some with screens even, to kind of go around and see the different islands, see the traditional people of the different islands as you went from island to island, learn about the different cultures.
That makes me think of the old Disney Quest ride, when you sat in the raft and you're all paddling away.
I saw that ride. I never went on it. I watched other people, but yes. I think it was more
elite than that,
more elite than that. But yeah, that was the idea, and he hadn't mentioned a tiki bar, but of course, why wouldn't you in the South Pacific have a tiki bar? It doesn't matter that they originated in San Francisco, so we'll just ignore that.
Who knows? Nobody knows.
No one knows. A tiki bar, and that's all I'd got from him before he wasn't very well. So I like that idea, though. I think it's a lovely idea.
Bring together Samoa and Fiji, and all of that.
French Polynesia.
Yeah, a whole lot.
All of those. Even New Zealand.
Oh, can you imagine the Festival of Holidays? The Mele Kalikimaka playing on blue.
Yeah. you could get guys to do a show, and they could have like the hacker and
sing.
Yeah, I think it would be a lovely idea.
Be great. I'm there.
Yeah. So he had a great idea, but sadly couldn't tell us about it. Mine was. I chose the country when we last chatted about it, and I thought, I'll see if I can come up with anything better. And I haven't really. I still think it's a good idea. Maybe disagree. I don't know. My country is Australia, and I think there's lots of
Southern Hemisphere is definitely needed.
Yeah.
It is. It's lacking. And there are 2 Disney films that I know of off the top of my head that are set, certainly in part, in Australia. And the one I went with was The Rescuers Down Under.
Cool.
Great film. Completely underrepresented.
The other one's actually Finding Nemo, because obviously they go to the EAC.
Yeah,
of course.
So, and they go to Australia, Sydney. But I'm sticking with The Rescuers, because I kind of think a ride a bit like Ratatouille, where you follow your mouse.
With Bianca.
Yeah.
You are with Bianca and Bernard on the back of the bird, whose name is it Albatross? Is it Albatross?
I think so.
I'm sure it's something like that. And you're flying through the air, and I loved that idea. I was like, I can't think of anything that I think's better than that. And it doesn't matter that the film's not hugely popular. I don't think anyone's coming calling for me with that one. But I really liked it.
The thing is, though, Robin, you've just mentioned Sydney and Nemo, and like the rest of the family are across there, and they all did the same thing. You went to Sydney, and it's
They'll
like,
go P-Sherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the P-Sherman,
Yes.
42 Wallaby
You
Way.
could
Wanna be
have
Wayne
two.
Sydney.
Hey, it's Australia. You can blend the two.
It was
And again,
really
you
hidden in the background. I could just imagine a front facade with dentist office. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way. It was
Oh, I
great.
love that.
But you could incorporate it again in that
Yeah.
area.
Oh, yeah.
With the Finding Nemo anyway. So you could kind of make that the Australia area. You can have a restaurant, would be a barbecue restaurant, and it'd have a lot of shrimp on the barbie, some kangaroo steaks, some Vegemite on toast.
Love a bit of Vegemite. You can have that in the shop,
And-
sell it at an extortionate amount of money like
Yeah.
you do with Quality Street.
Like $20.
Love Vegemite.
Yes, exactly. You pay $20 to have a tiny jar of Vegemite.
Pay it.
You can get and the dessert would be fairy bread.
Yeah.
If you ever heard, it's a bit like cake that's just got sprinkles and loads of food colouring on the top. It looks amazing. So yeah, that was my thought. There'd also be a bar. I feel like there has to be a bar
With beer.
serving like with
Yeah.
beer, like a
My brain went to
Great bar.
Castle Made 4X.
That was exactly my thought, but it'd have to be the proper Australian beer. None of the watered down stuff from the
Right.
UK. That's not allowed whatsoever.
Can we add a Priscilla Queen of the Desert show to it, please?
I think that's a wonderful idea, and we should definitely do that. Because my idea was we could have a show of the latest Neighbours or Home and Away guests.
Oh, amazing! Or
should be
Scott Charlene's wedding just on repeat.
Yeah, that's what I've done with like Impressions de France. I was thinking Impressions of Australia,
That'd be amazing.
and like the Australians. So
Can we not have
Sullivans.
prisoner cell block H in there as well?
Yeah, we could have all
Just-
the vintage Australian shows.
And
Flying
then
Doctors.
see
Yes.
how many of those shows that Harold Bishop, who was in Neighbours, how many of those shows he was in the other ones
Oh,
as well?
yeah.
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 I can't
Oh,
remember his name. Ian someone, wasn't it?
He was brilliant. I would
Yeah,
do
but he
anything
was
to
in
see Avatar on
everything.
that film.
Yeah.
you say he was? Has he died already? I don't think he has. He is poorly. He's got cancer.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gone yet.
By the
Right,
time they
okay.
build
I
it,
think
he
he's
will.
still with us. But yeah,
Yeah, that'd be
Check.
amazing.
I love that idea. I thought it was naff but great.
Aussie soaps, the homage to Aussie soaps with the Alf in Home and Away, and yeah,
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking. In like you go in and sit and watch it for half an hour going, wow, is this how Australians really live? A bit like you do in the France, Impressions to France. Like, wow, French people are like
yeah.
retro.
Look at their school uniforms. Is that really what they
Yeah.
wear?
I'm not sure to think Neighbours is like, this is what Australia is like.
Oh, I
So you
know.
don't think?
I've no
Oh,
idea.
Yeah, but you could then go down the Crocodile Dundee route, couldn't you? And
Yeah.
that crossover of when you came to America.
Mm.
Yeah, now that really is taking it to the nth degree about being misappropriate of any form of culture. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a thing back in the day, wasn't it?
I did think we could have like a stage area like the Sydney Opera House and have either shows or music or something as well. There was some sort of, thought behind it that was serious in my planning. Yeah, I think that would be nice.
Paul Hogan's still around to be able to get him to do something. The other thing is you could put a Great Barrier Reef scenescape in there, which would be really cool. Because to be fair, Australia has some amazing ecosystems and unique animals.
Yeah.
You could have a whole thing about marsupials, Perry the
That's why I say
platypus.
it would fit really well with the seas.
P.
Right, Agent Peeping. But you can, by the time you start adding up all those unique flora and fauna that you get in Australia, well, let's avoid the history bit. But let's do the fun flora and fauna of Australia and all the things that are trying to kill you. That'd be great.
This is the size of a spider.
These are the spiders you want to avoid.
Yeah, but Ben, we could also get another F1 bit in with
Yeah.
Australian F1 drivers in them.
There's
Might
so
have
much
Oscar
scope with
Right,
F1.
bang
With
up to
them,
date with Piastri
Australia.
as well. We saw it.
Background. Where would you put it, Robin? Where in World Showcase would you put it?
Well, see, this is the thing. Could it go to the left in between the land and the seas and then have it lead into the seas?
Just a massive Ayers Rock in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
Block with you to the roadway.
Or
Well,
better still,
we could also have a
block out the view of the Guardians building, because actually that was just became bigger and
Take
bigger.
the Wonders of Life pavilion area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that idea. I do, because I feel like it'd need to be a big area.
It'd be I mean, it's a big place. It would be a big pavilion. There's a
I'll tell you
lot
what,
of
if Ben's having a life-size replica in Monaco, then
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we might have to scale back the Australian version at some point as well.
Maybe slightly.
Yeah,
I forgot the most important part, though.
Go on.
There has to be a meet and greet for Bluey, because Bluey, of course, is Australian.
Is it a Disney?
It's owned by Disney now. It's Disney Plus.
Is it?
It's on Disney Plus.
I can see 7-hour waits to meet Bluey and Bingo. That would be it. Would be you, Anna, and Elsa.
Yeah,
It would be.
That would be amazing. With
Loads of Bluey merch.
Bluey
I
episodes.
think there has been a meet and greet for Bluey not that long ago.
really. Wow.
Yeah.
So if they've got,
I've heard.
got the character, get it out there. That's it.
Yeah. Too many options.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you going to say, John?
I was just going to clarify, just at time of recording, both people that we mentioned, Paul Hogan is still with us. And this is one of those things that you don't really. This could really come back and bite us on the backside, really, couldn't it? And it was Ian Smith who was in every single Australian production known to mankind, basically. Who, according to the BBC, he was the last report there was he was defying the odds after cancer treatment. So yeah, just a little thought for him there as well. But he's still with us.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I thought he had. I have to be honest, going off topic slightly, I still watch Neighbours on Amazon Prime, and I still watch
the thing is,
you can judge me all you want. I love it.
The thing is, though, Robin, he's died that many times on screen that you don't know actually whether he's alive or dead. And things like that. It's just like he's one of them people like, who knows?
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Intentionally and unintentionally.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that bit as well.
I like the idea of including Bluey, though. I've heard Grayson playing the Bluey theme tune. Some kid, he said, "What should I play?" And some child went, "Bluey!" And he said, "I'm still working on it." And he literally just went, "Do, do, do," and everyone just went, "Bluey!" And he did the whole intro section, and everyone screamed out names. So I think there's
I love that.
I think Australia has so much to offer. Yeah, you've got all the different flora and fauna. You've got amazing food, loads of beer, huge, diverse country. Barrier Reef, Gold Coast.
Do you think EPCOT's big enough to have more countries?
Yeah.
How many do you think it can host?
I think it can withstand quite a few more. You know, if we're just talking about the World Showcase. Yeah. Do you think 10 more overall, or do you think 10 more just in World Showcase?
I think 10 more overall that would cover the back, like the second row that was meant to happen. But there's not space for that now because some of them have grown. But I think if you were to put one, down where Wonders of Life is, you could put one the other side, to make it, nice and symmetrical. And then you can put one between Canada and the UK, one with the African Outpost. Yeah, there were so many countries that I thought about. I had a look online, and people have suggested places like Tanzania, there's no real African. Egypt is another.
We talked about African, like Kenya or something, and then tying that in.
You got Morocco,
the Lion King.
And there's not. There's nothing more southerly than Morocco. I think there's also the opportunity for India. I think would be very cool as well. There's loads of architecture, loads of history. Maybe
Some amazing food. Think
Right?
how nice the food
Yeah.
would be.
This is it.
Love
So,
that.
yeah, I think the world really is your oyster in this situation, and trying to work out what would be most appealing. I think we've come up with some pretty good ideas, though, across.
I think we do. I quite like that some of the ideas we came up with included cultural learning and some of them included some Disney IP. I think
right?
it's a nice mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really like that.
I think that's a
I-
nice
it's-
balance to have in World Showcase, because we know Disney want to put more IP everywhere because it makes sense, but I think it needs to be done in the right way.
Exactly. It doesn't need to take over the whole area. A bit like Becca's. The whole area would be Greece. There would be lots of parts of Greece, and then there'd be a ride and a meet and greet. It wouldn't be the whole area, which I like. I think that's really nice.
It would
I
be very
actually want your ride to be there because I really
Sounds
fancy
great.
that. Yeah.
It would be so
Yeah.
easy to introduce an IP into every single pavilion. Now, when you get to Italy, do you add Pinocchio? Do you add Luca? Actually, it's not necessary. Some need, some don't, and I think having a mix and match approach where it's Germany again. Yes, you get Snow White there, but you don't need a huge, great, big IP driven attraction.
Yeah.
Um,
Exactly. And it's still magical to look and see and learn about the culture and the country.
I did have a
Feel
think. I did have a think about Denmark. That would be very cool. You have Little Mermaid, and then
We
the
talked about that.
beautiful building facade, and it would be awesome. Good food.
Yeah. Lots of cream cakes, I hear, are very popular in Denmark. So I'm already sold. I like that idea.
Yeah. I think you could pretty much add any country and it would be a bonus. But
It is time. Come on, listen to us. Add some more countries. We're ready.
we've given it to you on a plate.
Yeah, we've told you exactly what to do. It's fine.
We'll
Just-
happily accept
Just
the
credit us. It's
Yeah.
fine.
We'll take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're here to help.
And you'll pass for life.
We're here to help.
I'd like. Oh, well, I think that just about wraps us up then. So it's been a fun show. Hopefully we've given Disney some ideas. I think they should listen to us and take some of our ideas on board. What do you, the listener, what do you think to our countries? Have you got any ideas to add? Do you think you could do better? Pop your ideas in the comments and let us know what you think. We love reading them. It makes us smile. So and don't forget, if you have missed our tour around the World Showcase, you can listen back to a few of the first of the month shows. Claire did an amazing job taking us around World Showcase, learning to all the differences, learning all the little details and things that I didn't even know that was there, and I consider myself a Disney expert. So definitely worth a listen to. And don't forget that our live show's back this week, so join us on Wednesday. Sadly, I will not be there as I'll be in Disneyland.
Not
Get that one
sadly.
in.
Can I just get that in there as well?
Sadly, mine.
Goodness.
I don't know what you mean. But everyone else will be there. So, and
We've
then
got
we'll
the
be talking
Disney
about their
blues.
trips.
We'll have the
You'll
Disney
have the
blues.
Disney blues. You will, but you'll have the most amazing time talking about what fun you got up to and what mischief John
Yeah.
and Claire got up to.
How very dare you? How very dare you?
That's libel. That's libel. I'll give you
It's all true. You know it.
I'll get me a lawyer on the case if I can afford a lawyer. Yeah.
If you enjoyed the show, we would always appreciate a like or a follow, subscribe. You can find us on all the usual social media at GBMW Waffle. We also have a wonderful Facebook community group, which can be found by searching the Waffler's Arms, where you can connect with other Disney, Florida lovers. It's a really lovely group of people, and you'll be welcomed in. So we'd love for you to join us there. And that's it for today. So thanks again for joining us. And I think there's only one thing left to say. See you real soon.
Now my wheels in motion and my